Welcome back everyone. For this video, it is very exciting to be opening what I ordered. I thought about just taking it out of the box, but I figured opening it how it came in the box was a little interesting, so here we are. I ordered the special deluxe edition, or whatever it's called, collector's edition of the Code Geass anime released by Crunchyroll. And when it arrived, this is the box it came in, but when I opened it, it had this kind of insert that when you lift it, notice how they were very meticulous in figuring out how you as the consumer are going to pull this out without damaging it. That way, if you complain about it coming damaged, they can claim it's probably your fault. But here's what it said. It said, stop, read prior to opening. And then it provides instructions on how to take it out of the box perfectly, as well as instructions on how to store it. Interesting. Also, I didn't realize till the end that this was actually a booklet. It actually has pictures detailing how to put the chessboard up and how to get your collector's edition out of the box. That's thorough, I'll give them that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out because I am so excited for this. I already own the Code Geass anime, with the exception of the recap movies. I wasn't really interested in them, and this is quite heavy, so it might take me a minute. But yes, I pretty much own majority of the Code Geass series on Blu-ray, except for the recap movies, just because I wasn't really interested in owning them. They don't change too much from the anime. There's like one major change, but that's pretty much it. And they're not dubbed. Viz never went ahead and dubbed them, which I thought was annoying. So that's why I personally never got them. Oh my gosh, that was so much work just to get that out of there. But here it is. And wow, it's honestly, to be quite honest, a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I'm having some regrets because when this was first released, I thought it looked amazing. It's really cool. Definitely a collector's piece, but I'm not like the biggest fan of big items like this. It would be cool to have, but I just don't have space for it. Oh my gosh. What art is gorgeous. But yes, I just don't have the space, and with it having pretty much the entire anime that I already own for the most part, I just wasn't interested. Especially at that price point. This was $400 originally. I don't think it's sold that well because they put it on sale recently for $200. And I did think about waiting to see if it would get cheaper, but I figured I might regret it if it just sells out. So I went ahead and got it. This is my big purchase in the next few months. I'm not buying anything else after this, but I do love all the artwork that is around the box, and it is heavy. So this is the front of the box. The lid just has the Code Geass logo. Not the original one, but it does say Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion. And then when you lift it, you get this beautiful artwork, which you can only see a little bit of due to my tripod, but there it is. It's so gorgeous. Now, I do wish Suzaku was not in it, because I hate Suzaku, but the rest of it is so pretty. This has always been a piece of art from Clamp that I've enjoyed seeing in the ending theme. Gosh, I'm really going to struggle with this, because this is as far as my zoom goes. I do see some nicks here and there, because this is obviously cardboard. But it's not the biggest deal. Oh snap. Wow. It's really cool. The overall design of whoever designed the way this was going to open is really cool to see. Now, what's so special about this? It comes with a bunch of little knickknacks. Again, I wasn't really that interested in them. I did think they were cool, but at that price point, it just didn't seem that exciting. This, however, is really cool. This is the Geass symbol as a necklace. And it's in here Got some styrofoam. So you can pull this out, I'm assuming. I don't know why you would want to. Oh gosh. Maybe I just leave that bag there and open the Ziploc bag to get this out. There you go. Okay, I was a little worried there for a second. I thought there was no way to take it out, but there's these very barely visible slits here at the top, so the chain can come off. Oh gosh. There we go. It's quite shiny. Very cool looking. It just looks like a very shiny silver with a costume gem on the middle. The chain's pretty long, to be honest, so I wonder how low this is supposed to sit. Because if it goes into your cleavage, I don't know how much I'm gonna wear this, to be honest, because I was planning on wearing it because it was cool. That's one of the things I do like about the Geass, is the way it looks. Looks really cool to me. But yeah, if this sits pretty low, I'll either have to change the chain or I might just not wear it. But there's that. Let's try this one. Oh, this is Suzaku's Lancelot key, which, I was kind of hoping they would do somebody else's, but I understand why they did Lancelot. Ooh, it's heavy. Just has some licensing stuff here on the back. So it is painted kind of a matte gold. It's quite heavy. This feels like metal. I don't know if it is. Even this ring. And then it has a lanyard. So that's really cool. I forgot how much memory is supposed to be in this. I think they said like 10 gigabytes or something. Now I will say, I don't know if it's just faulty printing on the back or if it was just scratched off during production, but this does look very messy on the back, which is disappointing. It does look like the paint scratched off. And I wonder if that's just due to the way it was stored. But I will say the quality is there. It does feel really nice. It doesn't feel like a cheap plastic key that came in like a typical... Oh, I just noticed there's like a green gem at the top. I never noticed that. So, really cool attention to detail. I think these last two drawers are for the chest set, which I will open last because it's probably going to be huge and I'm going to have to move the box. So let's try these last drawers here. Oh, okay, it's not a drawer. So the flap opens, and inside is, we have Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion movies 1 through 4. It's not a metal case. It's, wow, that art is amazing, actually. Wow, I'm excited, actually. Because what I have for the 4th movie is the steelbook, and I love that. I love the cover in it. So I was not really thinking about selling it now that I have this, but this looks so cool. And it's C2's hair is a little shiny in the background. And so are some of these gold embellishments. Here's the... Oh, wow, that's so cool. I love they put his face on there. It says complete series, movies 1 through 4. And then the cover. So, while this is not a steel book, it is still a heavy cardboard cover. And then the DVD, or Blu-ray, I mean, slides out. Ugh, gross. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll try to cut back on the Suzaku hate. I just don't like him. I've never liked him. Oh, this is the cover my steelbook has. I love it. I do kind of wish they had used it some way, but this is nice that it's still there. Like always, I waited for my chickens to shut up, but they're not, so I'm just going to keep going. But this one is also partly shiny. Some of the, like, very subtle. If you see it in the shift in the light, some of these gold embellishments are also shiny. And then, oh, that's the cover of the actual case. That kind of sucks. I might flip that. Oof. But I do like how this is a thicker Blu-ray case. Is that? Oh, yes! Oh my gosh, I've loved this artwork. I'm flipping that. Yes, I love that. So I am enjoying how they're incorporating a lot of the original Code Geass artwork into this. It's a real treat to the eyes after admiring them in the EDs. But here's the discs. So we have movie 1, Invitation, movie 2, Transgression, movie 3, Glorification, and then the 4th movie, Lelouch of the Resurrection. I do wish there was some artwork on these cases, or on the discs themselves, versus just the title, but, you know, they already gave us this, so I guess I'll cut them some slack for that. And so far, this whole box set just feels and looks like there was a lot of work put into it. A lot of thought was put into every aspect. As I'm opening this, I can tell, you know, they wanted to give you an experience. Apologies, didn't realize my mic had stopped recording. But yes, this whole, so far, seems like it's doing a very good job of giving me kind of an experience as I'm opening this. Okay, let's move on to this flap over here, which has this symbol. By the way, this top flap had the Geass symbol on it, and the Geass symbol's here as well. One thing I forgot to say that I didn't notice until now as I was putting this back is that this flap is actually magnetic, so it stays up, which is pretty nice. I wish they had done something for that flap because it just falls back if you don't have anything to hold it. You can see here I'm using this drawer to keep it open. That one isn't magnetic because there's no surface behind it, but yeah, that was a cool detail. So, you know, they tried with this set. I'm not sure what this is. I didn't even realize it was here. Oh, okay. It's a certificate of authenticity, just certifying that it's real, what it includes, and my set is number 1153 out of 3000. Collectible packaging, I guess. Yeah, it's cool. It's on cardstock paper, and then I think this is supposed to be the certificate, which I'm pretty sure has already expired. It says expired in October 31st for the promo code to Crunchyroll, and then the premium membership $60 off is expired or the beginning of this year. So I do think that's kind of stupid to include a coupon in the packaging itself. If they wanted to provide that, they could have easily done that from the factory. That way you could update the coupon as these are sold. And I saw on the Reddit and some of the reviews that people were upset at these because when they advertised this initially, the coupon was one of the incentives to purchase this as well. That's what it felt like when I saw their advertisement. They're like, oh, and you're spending a lot for this, but here's some discounts on our shop to make it hurt less. And then if you bought this later, they just don't work. And to their credit, I did get this at a discounted price. But to include that in your marketing, you know, that was probably a mistake, I think, on their part. They really should have just either left it there without advertising it as like a little treat for those that bought it early on. That way, once people started opening these, they could tell the community, hey, this was kind of cool of them to do, but just FYI, it does expire on this date. But that's it. Moving on, we have, wow. Come on. I can't reach it. So I have to use both hands. Oh, wow. Okay. This is cool. This is Code Geass, the series, and unfortunately he's there, but There's Lelouch. Let me unwrap this actually. Again, heavy cardboard case. The spine is really cool. Has C2 and Lelouch. And then the R2 artwork on the back. And just like the other one, there are some gold embellishments here. You can kind of see it's very subtle but noticeable. And then we have the 2 seasons. We have season 1 and then R2. And again, this artwork is amazing. And some on the back. Oh wow, I'm surprised they included that one. I'm just really fascinated by the print job on these because they're shimmery too, I think. Almost metallic. And it's the same artwork on the inside. There's some insert artwork as well. Very cool. He's like tossing his Zero helmet. And then again, the discs actually look the same as the movies, which is kind of disappointing because I would have liked them to differentiate them. But we have disc 1, episode 1 through 7, 8 through 14, 15 through 21, and 22 through 25. And I do wonder why it's separated into 4 discs. I have to check mine because I do own this already, the standard release season 1 and 2. And I feel like they only had 2 discs. So why is it divided up into 4? But that may be just me misremembering. I'll have to check. This does say it includes bonus features, but I'm pretty sure that's just the opening, the clean endings and openings without the text. I'll have to see. Because one of my things with buying special editions that come out after the initial releases is that, here's R2. Sometimes with the releases that bundle all the episodes together, it may be cheaper, but they don't include a lot of the like blooper reels and things like that that were included in the original releases. That's the only reason I haven't bought the Yu Yu Hakusho bundle 3 and 4, season 3 and 4 from Walmart, is I'm not sure if that set includes some of the bonus features that are in the original release. This artwork's cute. They've got Colin. So I do wonder if this release of the seasons includes any bonus features that were included in the original releases, which you can still get now, by the way, for a decent price. They're not out of print or anything. It makes me wonder if they released this in preparation of making season 1 go out of print, but that's just doomsday thinking. It would be a shame because I missed out on Gundam 00. I should have bought that special edition when I had the chance. But yeah, there's R2. Very cool. So I do think these look amazing. I mean, if this was its own thing, I probably would have bought it if it was at a decent price. Like if it was $60, I definitely would have probably bought it over the initial releases. I would have bought it and then sold back my old ones. And then finally, so that's the season 2, or the season and the movies. Really cool. And then we have the Lancelot key and the Geass necklace. Also forgot a completely different item that's in this box. Akito the Exile is also included, and I had just completely forgotten to open this flap. So I apologize. I haven't opened it, so let's go ahead and do that. Akito is one series that I never bought even when it was available outside of this set because I just didn't finish it. And I remember watching maybe up to 3 episodes of it when it came out, and it just didn't keep my interest, so I never continued. And I learned later that they released the following episodes in a very lengthy release time. There was significant gaps in between releases of the episodes because this is an OVA, so I think it was like 45 minutes per episode or something. I don't recall. I just remember maybe seeing the first, maybe second episode and just not being interested. But here it is. I don't know why my camera's being quite glaring, but it's not this pale in person. But it is cool. It still has the effects that the other series have, the other boxes. Oh, Lelouch. Now, Lelouch is not a major character in this series, I'm pretty sure, but they did include him and Suzaku as kind of a draw, because this was the first actual series or continuation for Code Geass after the main series. So they had to draw in people from the original cast somehow, and that was probably by teasing Lelouch. But again, I don't think he has a lot of significance in this, but I could be wrong. Again, I didn't watch it. Oh my gosh, there's only one disc in here and it was hard to pull out. Here's the spine. Again, really cool kind of metallic or shimmery effect. Oh, the inside's black. I didn't notice that. I didn't check the others, but that's cool. Again, really cool effects on these. And then the actual disc cover is the same as the slip cover. Discs are very similar to the main series. So this is OVAs 1 through 3 plus special features. Oh, okay. So there's 5 total OVA episodes. Cool. So maybe I did only watch the first part. Wow, this art is beautiful. So this must be original artwork from Clamp. Beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's really cool. And I will flip that. Thank you very much. So that is Akito the Exile. I do apologize for forgetting to open this during the review, but at least I remembered before I published this. That would have been very embarrassing. Next, these 2 drawers at the bottom have the chess set, which I don't play chess, and this set is probably not going to get me to play it, but I did think it was pretty cool that they recreated it. So here are the pieces. Okay, I did have to move the box to the side just to fit this on the table, because I don't think I'm going to be able to set this up without completely moving everything. But here are some of the, or here's the chess set, the chess pieces. And I'm going to be honest, they looked a little 3D printed and cheap looking, but that's because of the design of them. I mean, they're pretty simple chess pieces, even in the show. So I don't think that's on the fault of the manufacturers. They do have the little suede bottom so that they don't move around. And they're kind of light. They're, you know, they're plastic. They're not anything. I don't think they're made out of wood. Actually, no, I think they're plastic. So they're cool, but you know, I'm probably never going to use them. But I do want to see the king key. This is the iconic piece that Lelouch uses. And like I said, they're probably plastic because I can see a seam line. But I don't see any indicator that they were like 3D printed cheaply or anything like that. And these were mass produced, so that's probably not the case. But they're cool. You know, if you're into chess, I'm sure if you are into chess and also a fan of Code Geass, this is probably the coolest thing ever. I do not play chess. I am only a fan of Code Geass, so to me it's just like, wow, that's cool. It's from the show. And because I know I'm not going to use it, I don't know if I want to open the chess set itself, or the board itself. But let's take a look at it while it's still in the shrink wrap. Oh, it says not for sale. Well, I'm sorry. I have to recoup my losses somehow. So it says Code Geass, Solution of the Rebellion. I'm assuming on the bottom. And what the heck? Let's open it. It is heavy, I will say that. Let's move the pieces. Oh, it's 2. Oh, this is huge. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought it was the kind that unfolds, but it's still connected. These are literally just individual pieces that, Oh, they're magnetic. I see now. That's pretty cool. That's an interesting way to do it. And they do work. I mean, obviously you can't see all of it where I'm filming, but they do work. And it has the white and the black on the other side, the little wings. So that's pretty cool. They feel like cardboard. I'm trying to determine if there's probably like a solid piece of really light wood under what looks like a wrapping, because it feels very much like cardboard. Like you can see the wrapping here. So there's something that they wrapped with the actual design. And the black squares are glossy and the red ones matte. The wings are glossy as well. But yeah, that's curious, because I assumed this was just going to be a solid piece of plastic. So the fact that it's wrapped, I don't know. To me, that doesn't feel luxury because it's paper. So at some point, if you do use this a lot, it's going to wear down. And I don't know what's under this, if it is a piece of wood or if it's just a very thick piece of cardboard. And if that's the case, it's not waterproof, which is a bummer. I've seen slightly above average chess sets in garage sales and things like that. And I actually purchased one when I was younger with the intent to learn how to play chess. I never did. But that one was glass. To me, that was super luxury at the time. So this, to me, while the design is cool and it's cool that it's from the show, it doesn't scream luxury. So for the original $400 that people were paying, I don't think this was worth it. I would have, had I intended to use this as an actual chessboard, I would have much preferred plastic with maybe like a fabric overlay for the actual, where the pieces go. Or at least make it out of wood and print the design on it. The paper to me just feels really cheap. The magnets are cool though. That part is cool. But yeah, I wouldn't pull this out on game day, because if it's game day, I'm probably going to have drinks and food and stuff. And even just touching it, I'm going to leave some stuff on it. So it would have been nice if they had at least coated the paper with something, because this matte texture for sure would get damaged with a little bit of moisture or oil from just your fingers, or if you're eating. But yeah, even though it's a collector piece, I like to buy things and use them. So if they're advertising this as a display thing, that's one thing. But the fact that they give you the actual pieces and you can actually use this as a chessboard, very cool. But then you have to make it practical. Like, these will not wear down over time, but this board definitely will. So that's a shame. That's really my only negative criticism, I think, from the rest of this board, or the rest of this collector's edition. Everything else was really nice and felt quality. This is really the only disappointment, and I'm not even going to use it. I'm just thinking out loud as someone who does not like to spend money on stuff that I know will not be quality. All right, so that is everything with the exception of the board that I put back in the box. It comes in the Code Geass Collector's Edition from Crunchyroll. This released, I believe, last year, and it's gone on sale a few times ever since then. I definitely know it's sold at full price for some people. They definitely paid that $400. I think $200 is a good price for now. I wasn't happy with everything in the box, but for the most part, I think they did an amazing job with the design of all of this. As a fan of Code Geass, this definitely includes a ton of stuff that I really enjoyed seeing as I was opening everything. All the artwork, the little stuff from the show, the chess set. Even though I was disappointed with the board itself, they just make really cool display pieces, and they're pretty much already ready for display thanks to these little boxes that come with it. So if I had more space, I definitely would have had this as a display piece to have on a shelf somewhere as like a little Code Geass shrine. I don't though, so that's kind of why I avoid big sets like this because I just don't have any use or room for a lot of what it comes with. The main reason I bought this is because I did want the movies, and I don't think they sold them separately, and if they did, it wasn't worth it to buy them for me. I only bought the fourth movie as a steelbook, and that was it. So I am happy to have the actual movies, even though they weren't dubbed. And they are available on Crunchyroll, so you don't even have to buy them. This is just me trying to complete my Code Geass collection. That said, I'm gonna have to debate with myself whether or not I want to trade these releases for the ones I currently own. And some people may not care about this stuff, but I'm just trying to be practical due to my lack of, sufficient space. So this is the steelbook release that I have for Resurrection. There's the cover I was talking about. I really like it. And then I have the standard releases for season 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. And these aren't anything too special, really. So I don't mind replacing this with this release. The art is different on these, though, than what is included in this box set. So that's one sacrifice you'll be making if you decide to make the swap. And I guess they did separate them in a lot of discs. I never realized that. But yeah, mine are pretty worn as well because I do watch this at least once a year. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna have to decide whether or not I want to replace this release with the special collector's edition version. Oh, that cover is so good though. Like, look at that. So the extras on the standard release says that there's picture dramas, extra flash, theater redux in episodes 1 through 9, Japanese audio commentaries, broadcast version of Next Turn, textless opening and closing songs, and then the trailers that were used to advertise the series. So I don't know if that is also included in this release. I will have to definitely research that, because if I do decide to swap them, I'm going to be losing all that content from selling this off, which would be a shame. But that's the primary reason I did purchase this, is to get the other movies. And then the Lancelot key is really cool. I don't know if I would ever use it because, first of all, I don't like Suzaku all that much. And depending on how much memory this is, and it's huge, it's just not practical to carry around. It really is, I think, more of a display piece, but you never know. I'm willing to use it because when I pay this much money for something, I would much prefer to use it. That's why I didn't buy this at $400. Just didn't seem worth it to me. $200 was not as bad, because when you think about it, I believe Resurrection was like $30. I could be misremembering, but this was the steelbook release, so I honestly don't remember how much I paid for this, but if I had to guess, because it is a movie, it would be about $30. And I'll look that up and put it on the screen if that was accurate or not. And then the series themselves, I think I did purchase them full price, so they would have been $20 to $25 a piece. So that's $50 plus the $30, so that's like $80 plus tax. I don't know, what is that, $85, $90 total? So I paid a little under $100 just for the series alone, and that does not include the movies. So let's say this is $100, and it probably would be a bit more because they're in these collector cases. And then we have the other movies. If I was paying for the individual movies, they'd probably be $20 a piece. That's more or less how much they charge for one movie. So that's $80 just in the movies alone. Plus, let's say this was $50. So this is over $100 value for the most part, just for the series. Then we get into the actual collector items. The Lancelot key is really cool. It does feel like it's metal, if not some heavy material. It does look or feel very luxe. I feel like this probably would have been a $20 item. Probably cheaper for them to produce it, but you know, the necklace I feel would have been a $20 item too. And the chest set itself, I feel like would have been $50 retail, and then they probably bumped it down once it didn't sell to $30. Those are just my estimates. So that's what, $70 of value in these particular items. And then you have the box itself, which I'm sure was very expensive to produce for them, because it opens up, it has drawers, it has all the artwork on each side. Now I will say, as much as I love to see the artwork, I would have much preferred prints. that way I could take them out, frame them, and put them on my walls. Unless you have the space for it, this box is not going to be displayed how you would want it to. Preferably, you probably want a turntable so you could flip it around and see all the artwork. And then there's artwork on the inside, on the flap. I thought it was going to be a printed piece of art that you could pull out and frame, and instead it's part of the box. So that was really disappointing, because it is such a cool piece of artwork. It's like one of the most famous clamp art pieces from this series. And the fact that it's stuck on the inside of this box is a real shame. So that means for someone like me who does value the artwork and would prefer to have it framed or located in like an album, I would be tearing this box apart and cutting out the artwork itself. I would not keep it. So pretty much the box is useless to me. I have no purpose for it, unless you're someone who bought this and intends to display it later. The box is pretty much useless, but I'm sure it was expensive. Overall, I do think this set is worth $200. I don't mind that I paid that price for it, but $400 was steep. That was a steep cost, even when you consider how much work was put into it. That's just me though, personally. If you are someone who does display collector's editions and kind of pulls all the nicks and crannies out to display them properly in a shrine and such, I think this is a really good set and really good for that. But if you're like me who wants to be a little more practical with the stuff that comes in these sets, there was some to be desired. For the most part, they did a great job, but the chess set not being waterproofed and stuff like that, I think they could have done a little bit better. But I think they really missed out not including some art prints. I would have loved art prints. I like the practical thought behind a lot of these items, but art prints, come on now. You put so much art into the box itself, but I would have loved to just be able to pull it out and frame it easily, especially this one. So I'm gonna have to think about that, because this box is huge. There's no way I can keep it stored or on display with my current predicament. So some stuff is gonna have to move just so I can store it. And then I'll have to make the decision of whether or not I want to tear it apart and save the artwork. But I think those are all of my thoughts with this box set. I hope y'all enjoyed seeing what it has. There's a ton of reviews for this, I know, but I had it and I paid for it, so I wanted to make a video. Like I said, overall, $200 I think is a good price to get it at. So if it's still on their website for $200, and you've been kind of going back and forth and you feel like you would use most of these items and would enjoy either displaying them or just having them to use, then I definitely would recommend getting it at that price. I would not pay $400 at all. That's way too much. Post-editing here again, in addition to forgetting Akito was in this set and having to unbox that, I also recently learned that the regular series for Code Geass is actually out of print. I didn't realize that when I made the video. I assumed it was still on Amazon, because I recently looked it up for, I can't recall what reason. That was months ago though, so I guess in that time it was going out of print, and now it's officially out of major retailers, and you can see secondhand through Mercari and eBay that the copies that were available have shot up in price. Like the copies that I have, that I showed, that I purchased for maybe $24, $25 originally, are now like $60, $80, over $100. So with that said, I think that means this set is actually worth the $400, to be quite honest. I was very critical of the stuff, because if I paid $400, I don't think the stuff, like the chess set and the Lancelot key and the necklace, really would have convinced me to buy this at that price. It would have been the series that I'm primarily after. So now, considering that Code Geass is officially out of print, you can't get the movies either, and I'm not sure about Akito the Exile. I feel like it's still on Crunchyroll, but if not, if Akito is also out of print, that means this is your only way to get the series and the movies. So unfortunately, the $400 price tag is now justified, and everything else is just a bonus. And that may have been the original intent when they created this. I don't know if Code Geass is going to get a reprint. I would hope it does, but a lot of series nowadays just aren't, and it's a real shame. So if you are interested in getting the full thing, this would probably be your best bet. I did check Crunchyroll. It is back to being $400, unfortunately, but if it ever goes on sale, they often have summer sales, they often have birthday sales, Black Friday, all those major holidays. Definitely check on Crunchyroll to see if this goes on sale, because that would be your best bet to get it at the absolutely best price, which was the $200 that I purchased it at. And if it goes even lower in the future, even better. The only other thing I have to say is that Crunchyroll, I haven't bought from them since Right Stuf closed. Up until recently, I bought some manga and anime, and it seems like they pack everything similar to Right Stuf did. So that was nice to see, but I will say it took them a while to ship this out. I purchased it on one of the days where it went on sale, and then I waited maybe a week to get confirmation that it quote-unquote shipped. And then for 2 weeks, I want to say, if not maybe a week, maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe it was a week, it just didn't ship. FedEx had the info on the label and it just didn't ship. And then one day I'm at work and I get a text from FedEx saying your package is being delivered today. Maybe because I'm close to their warehouse, because I think their Right Stuf warehouse was in Texas. I don't remember where, but I'm in Texas as well, so maybe they just felt they could take their time with me because I'm in the area. But that was kind of annoying because I wanted this as soon as I bought it. So that's the only other thing to note. Other than that, I will leave a link to this in the description if you are interested. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.